It shows that we are human.
It shows that we're real. Will Real Madrid hold on and win the league, or are they going to mess it up?
I think they're probably going to hold on and win the league, not because they are fantastic, but because Barcelona is having a really bad season. Atletico Madrid is having a really bad season in the league. And I think that the only one I could see for the league title would be Sevilla. But at the same time, Sevilla doesn't really have the experience. I think Real Madrid will hold on to win the league. Obviously, they've done a really good season.
Yeah.
They went very long without losing. But I haven't been that impressed of them still. And
I was thinking about this the other day, actually, and let me elaborate on this before
Yeah.
you react, and that includes you guys. Overall, in terms of the league, this is the worst standard that the top teams have been in La Liga for a while. Like, I think last season's Atletico Madrid would have won this league.
Yeah.
I have no doubt about it. Last season's Barcelona would have won it. Last season's Real Madrid, I'm not sure because they were. But I think overall across the board, Villarreal are performing much worse than they were. It's a strange phenomenon. But at the same time, there's not really a reflection of that in the Champions League, Barcelona aside. More because of that than because Real Madrid have been phenomenal. Are they in a position to win it? Or position to lose it, you could even say right now, I think is theirs to lose still. Barca aren't going to win it. If they do, it would be a real surprise. Atletico, it looks really unlikely. And Sevilla, I think to his credit, what Ramos said, the second half of the season is tougher.
Yeah.
And I don't think they'll be able to get through in the Champions League and continue to play the
No,
league.
and that's also with the experience
Yeah.
and everything. They're not used to being in that situation, while a team like Real Madrid is probably the best team in the world of being in that situation.
And how the hell did Zidane end up here? This is something I ask myself every day. But he was a average at best coach in the youth team.
But I think it's one thing, and that's it. Like, Real Madrid has always been a team with superstars, but that plays for themselves. With Zidane, what he's got more than anything is the things outside of the pitch. Like, he's not a fantastic coach when it comes to the tactical stuff, and that's also why we haven't been impressed by Real Madrid this season. And I think it has to do a lot with the psychological part and how he's made sure that every single player in the team knows that they are needed. And this is a thing that has not existed in Real Madrid before in the same manner as it does now.
But this is because I think also what's important here is he's probably the one person that could command
Yeah.
the kind of respect that he commands
Exactly.
among those players.
And that's the thing, because he's doing something that very few would be able to do, and that's because he's got so much respect among the players. Like, when you have Rafa Benitez there, he had no respect at all. While Zidane walked in as a legend and had already from the start this huge respect. I think you can see even Ronaldo in a way feels more like a team player. I think
There's a bit of a misconception about Ronaldo in that regard as well. I think there's no doubt that for most of his time at Madrid he's not been much of a team. When he was at Manchester United, when Ferguson was his coach, who he immensely respected, he was a major team player there. I think he was more willing to do more. As excellently as Zidane has performed, all things considered, was he just a few Atletico Madrid penalties away from being sacked in the summer? I mean, ultimately, would he still be here if Atletico had won that final? And I'm not sure he would be.
I think if we start with, had his name not been Zidane, would he still be there? Had his name not been Zidane, he wouldn't have been there in the first place.
This is true.
Because when he was in Real Madrid Castilla, first season, that had his name not been Zidane, he'd been fired. Because if you're looking at the old coaches that Castilla had, when they had done the results that Zidane did, they got fired.
Absolutely.
But he didn't, because his name was Zidane. No one with the record he had with Castilla would get the first team job.
And yet, despite all this, and despite all these caveats that we're bringing up, to give him credit, if he holds on and wins this league, he's Madrid's most successful coach since Vicente Del Bosque.
He does it because he has the respect, but I also think he's a really good coach off the pitch, so to say. Everyone in the team feels like they have a really important role, and I think that's extremely important.
Oh, that's cool though. I think it's super fun.